Hello, Father. Hello, Mother. Hello, family. Whew. Hope y'all ready for an amazing live today. Trying to figure out why this YouTube though. Hello there, Minister Kiana. See what I did there? So, go ahead, walk in that. Reclaiming it, go ahead, walk into it. My sister from, can you say another mister? I'm trying to figure out if my YouTube is working. Can somebody go to my YouTube and see if I'm streaming from there, please? It's like it's not showing up on here. Oh, nope. I got action. You look great in the pink room. I appreciate that. This is your room. So you can see me streaming on YouTube. I'm just not seeing an option where I can see people commenting. That's all. What's good with you, Ford? Oh, never mind. We got action. I see the people. Hey, YouTube. Hey, Nora. No, we good. We locked in. It just looks different today, as far as like the chat. How's everybody weekend? I don't know if anybody served, but happy Veterans Day to anybody that you know. Man, just try and get it in. Yeah, happy Veterans Day. Happy 11/11 to the people that follows that angel numbers. Yeah, it's a great day today. I'm actually excited for today's lesson. Live, however you want to slice that up, but you are streaming. Okay. I'm gonna give it like a few more minutes. How was y'all weekend? Tania, I see you. Oh, I see now. You can't rush the people, man. You gotta let the people at least get in here. You say 8 o'clock. It's CP time. My weekend was educational. That's different. Education was very different. I would love to hear that later on. Be on time, people. Again, it's CP time. So you say, "What up, Chaz?" You say 8 o'clock. They be here 8:15. Okay, we got a restful weekend. We got an educational weekend. My weekend was non-stop, but I had fun though. What up, L? All right, let me get my notes in order. Then we're gonna get started. So I can see the YouTube comments. The locks are definitely flourishing. Thank you for somebody noticed. We going crazy out here. Oh, marriage weekend. That's good too. So we got marriage weekend. We got a restful weekend. We got an educational weekend. Anybody else? YouTube, how was y'all weekend? If y'all can respond, type in. Got Selena in here. Squad up in here today. I like it. All right. Got 2 more minutes. I'm going to get started. Look like people still coming in. Anybody still eating Halloween candy or setting up your Christmas tree already? Keep saying that as a post that people putting up Christmas trees. And it's not even Christmas yet. Okay, somebody on YouTube said their weekend was busy. Oh yeah, this gonna be for you today then. Today's notes will be for you. All right, we're gonna get started. So we are now in. Well, hello to everybody. If you're just joining in, if you don't know, my name is Jay Allen. I have been here for the last 6 weeks, speaking on my book, which is called "Don't Take Your Shoes Off Yet: A Journey from Procrastination to Purpose." And each week, I've been dissecting a chapter from my book, just to get people interested, get people involved, just to give a gist of what I'm talking about. Um, Great feedback from people last week from last Monday's live, which was the milk has gone bad. Definitely had a lot of conversation about that. Even at church yesterday, Minister Kiana even brought it up, so I appreciate that. Today, though, we're going to talk about the breakup. My cousin texted me the other day, was like, "Are you going to be talking about relationships?" And I was like, "Nah, it's not that type of breakup." This breakup is based on just taking a break. But we're gonna get into what that break looks like. So I'm gonna give you a story. When I was younger, I was an angel. There would be people on this live that would try to debunk that, but I was an angel. I did get in trouble a lot too. But um, yeah, I was an angel. But I remember I got a beating once. I forgot what I did at school. But I got a beating for it, and I got punished for it. It's already bad that you got the beating. Matter of fact, let me sidebar. Why do parents beat you and then punish you as if the beating isn't already punishment? That should be that should be looked at for real. See, Angel, y'all tripping. But I got beat and I got punished. And in that punishment, I was told what I could and could not do as far as the punishment. But one thing that really stood out, and y'all probably know this if you've been punished or you've been beat by your parent, was after they beat you and they put you wherever you're going to be at for the time, is think about what you did. And that always stuck with me. My parents always tell me, think about what you did. I would hear either other parents tell their kids, like, uh, think about what you did. But it's like, really, what does that mean? So for me, sorry, parents, I got to put you on blast. But after I got punished, uh, I would get put in this room. The room only had a window, had no TV, it had no bed. All I had was like a blanket and a pillow, my book bag to do my schoolwork. That's all I had, right? And so now this time that I had, it would give me different things to do. So I couldn't come out the room unless it was bathroom or dinner. So just know I definitely went to the bathroom plenty of times a day, so I don't be stuck in the room all night. Two, when family, friends, they had uh, events going on, guess who still had to be in that room? I did. People would come visit me like I was in prison, but they'll wave, and then my parents like, "Don't talk to him. He's on punishment." So I'm like, "All right, cool." So I would do things. Sounds like my mama. Yeah. I would do things to kill time. I would write. I would speak to myself. Sounds crazy, but I would actually like speak out like this. And one of the things I used to do was play Uno. I would have four people. Of course, it's just me, but Matthew, Mark, Luke, and y'all can only guess who I was. I was John. And I would play Uno by myself. And the crazy part is I still lost. Yes, I didn't cheat. I still took my L's, even though there's nobody else playing but me. So crazy. But um in that timeline, I didn't realize it, but the break I was having on this little timeout or punishment, I was actually preparing for what was to come into my life. And mind you, like I said, I was writing, I was speaking out loud. I would really set scenarios up, give y'all a gem. I would sit in this room and I would think about ways to get out the room. On some MacGyver, Jack Bauer type. All I had told you was a door and a window in there. So trying to figure out different ways to escape. Scenario wise, I used to sit there and this was a time when cell phones wasn't a thing. So if you went to the mall, you saw a female, your game, as we would say, will have to be tight. So I would work on scenarios. If I seen a girl over here, I seen a girl at the mall, I seen a girl over here. Like I would create scenarios on how I would talk to this person or approach this woman. If it was like a business meeting, mind you, I think I'm like 11, 12, thinking like this. So thinking about a business meeting, how I will go in, how I would have a conversation, how I would get the deal. So mind you, I was doing this between the ages of like 10 to like 13, stuck in this room. But again, it was only preparing me, which I didn't know until later on, of what life was going to be for me. Um, with no distractions in the room, being isolated, I was only able to pivot into like new perspectives. You could be in a bad or tough situation and it feels like you are being punished, but unknowingly, you are only being prepped for your life's challenges by reflecting, planning, and imagining solutions. So that brings me to step or point one, I should say, not step one, but point one. Breaks are for reconciliation. I feel like something in my teeth. I'm sorry, y'all. My parents bought me some ribs yesterday. I just ate them before we got on here. But yeah, point one is breaks are for reconciliation. The idea that breaks aren't just for fun, but for resolving issues is an important one. It's too easy to think of breaks as escapes, whether from work, responsibilities, or life challenges. However, those breaks can serve a much deeper purpose to reflect, reconcile, and plan. Um, you ever been on vacation, but then you come back and your house is dirty? That's how it feels like. I know y'all don't do that because y'all probably seem like y'all clean up before y'all go, but some people be so busy that they get packing clothes everywhere, so they go on their vacation, they turn up, whatever, but they come back and the house is still dirty. And so, the same way, taking time for yourself, whether for your self care or to resolve your past issues, that gives you the space to clear out your mental and your emotional clutter so you can move forward. So, that also looks like in reconciliating in that break. It could be like releasing your past hurt. Hello, Selena. Um, yeah, you could be releasing your past hurt, whether it's forgiving yourself or others. It's about cleaning up old wounds that might be holding you back, which is the key to your mental and emotional growth. It could be about planning or recalibrating. When we're constantly busy or distracted, we rarely have the mental space to focus on what's truly important in our life. My moment of isolation that I was on punishment, it was frustrating. Even when I wasn't a kid, even when God put me in situations, and y'all can probably attest for your own life that when God puts you in certain places, well, isolation is frustrating to the core, you know. Um, but it also is a time to strategize and to think. We all need moments to recheck our goals, to reassess our priorities, and decide where we want to go next. Another part of that of reconciliating is settling your affairs. That looks like relationships, finances, personal health. It's easy to let things slide, but taking that break can be a way of addressing these areas one by one. It's an intentional pause to make sure you're aligned with your values. So when you come back, everything feels more in sync. Like I said, you go on vacation, you want to come back to a clean house, you want no clutter, no distractions. It's like, oh, time just unlock, unload my bag, put it in in the washing machine, and we good. Y'all good? Y'all keeping up? We good? So just to say it again, point one is a break is for reconciliation. Now this next one is point two. God calls a timeout. God will call a timeout in our life all the time. Um, we're constantly moving, striving, adapting to new trends and technologies, sometimes without even realizing it. I can't see y'all can see me, but without thinking about it, who still watches VCRs on a VHS? I promise you, no one is raising their hand right now. Who is still listening to a Walkman with headphones with a cassette tape? I promise you, no one is raising their hand. So we live in a world constantly evolving, and the pace of society can be overwhelming, whether we're ready for it or not. We're forced to keep moving. But the thing about all of this is God is the coach, and we're star players. You got point 11. Put point two. Sorry. Yeah, God is our coach, and we're his star players. He has a different rhythm for all of us. God doesn't want us to just go with the flow of the world or run the plays that society calls. He has a specific plan and purpose for each of us. When we're not running the plays he's designed for us, we're out of sync with his will. Sometimes he needs us to call a timeout. Just like a coach on the sidelines, God will pause things in our lives when we're heading in the wrong direction or running the wrong plays. It might feel like a setback or interruption, but in reality, it's a divine reset. We may be tripping sometimes or getting too caught up in things that are taking us off track. So God steps in not out of frustration, but out of love and guidance. These timeouts can look different for each person. It could be a moment of silence, it could be a tough situation, or just a period of waiting. I know that offhand. Just waiting for God to move. You're sitting there praying every day. You're trying to hear something. He ain't talking back yet. He's like, when is he gonna talk back to me? And you're just sitting there in all frustration. You know, you're happy and grateful that you're alive, but you're also frustrated that he's not speaking back at the moment that you need him to. Um, but there are all opportunities for God to realign us with his beautiful plan, helping us to refocus and get back on course. The key is to recognize that these timeouts are for our benefit. They're not punishments, again, but rather an opportunity for deeper connections with God, where He can show us the next play and set us up for success in His timing, not the world's. And in the end, those timeouts are what help us grow, strengthen our faith, and become the best version of ourselves. When I went to California last year to visit, I kind of spoke about this couple lives ago. Excuse me. Um, I went to visit to do a podcast, and I had my return ticket. I went on a Monday, I believe. I was supposed to come back on a Friday, and I just heard God say, "Trust me." I was like, "Okay, for what?" You ever just ask God for what? Because you don't know nothing at the very moment. It's like random when He says, "Trust me," and you're just like at work doing something or driving your car. It's like, "Trust me." Like, what's about to happen? So the next week I stay, and He says, "I just want you to trust me," and that connection and just him keeping me still allowed me to really get to this place of speaking to you guys, writing a book. Um, I had to, and he had to eliminate distractions. I had to, and he had to. Uh, we had to come together to make this work because you can have the faith, but with no works, with no action, it means nothing, right? And I remember while I was out there, prophet, and I just kept hearing his word too, and the prophet and the prophetess. Two people actually have like confirmed it while I was there, which leads me to the next point three. Breaks are for acceleration. After we done all the healing and the crying and the waiting and all the other things, you have to accelerate because why else would you go through the break? We oftentimes believe a break is for what we've been through, what we're going through, but in reality, the break is for what's coming. And in order for you to get there, it has to be an acceleration, and you can't go backwards, right? Um, Once you've uh, made peace with your past, healed, and let go, allowing God to guide you, it's time to move forward. After all the soul searching, crying, and healing, like I just said, the real work really begins. Your purpose is now at the forefront and it demands action from you. Think of it like a NASCAR race. This is like one of my favorite metaphors, if you will, or examples because it solidifies everything, right? And the NASCAR race, the NASCAR 500, after the car's completed a few laps, it's time for a pit stop. The crew refreshes the tires, makes necessary adjustments, and ensures the car is in optimal condition to finish the race. Same for us. After taking our breaks, we need time of reflection and healing, but we must accelerate. We can't afford to return to the same old routines because you're not the same person in that journey. And a lot of times people come back from that vacation, they go to vacation, party, turn up, whichever, read a book. But when you come back, you're still in the same situation that you left. And it's because you haven't taken the time to really digest what you need to go through. So again, making peace with your past. I'm pretty sure there's somebody in your family or in your life that you need to forgive. I'm pretty sure there's something in your finances that you need to handle. I'm pretty sure there's a car that needs to go to the shop and get checked out. I'm pretty sure your your health is intact or not intact but needs to be intact. So there's always something to prepare for, there's always something to do, but we go on vacation, take our breaks just to come right back to the exact same thing. So in this journey, once you go on vacation, you can't come back the same way. You won't. You can't. So um you're not the same person, like I said, in the journey, and so your actions must reflect the growth and what you've experienced. Can't return to the same habits. Facts. Um, your post break life should be marked by purpose going forward, whether it's becoming a better spouse, nurturing your friendships, taking charge of your finances, pursuing that dream home, my case, writing a book, whatever your calling is, now is the time to act on it. Your break was the preparation, and now you must go full throttle towards your goals, moving with intention to accelerate. So, point one was what? A break is for reconciliation. Again, making peace with your past, settling your affairs, dealing with your emotions or your hurt. So whether you got to go to a therapist, find a counselor, cool. You need a financial coach for your finances, find one. There's nothing that you cannot do in this world today, right? Yeah, we have restrictions and everything, but when it comes to your life, there is a path for you. God has set things in order that you can actually just go ask or just reach out or research for yourself. The second is God will call a timeout. A lot of times, again, we focus on what society is doing. We try to follow their way, but God has His own way for us to follow. As long as we stick to that purpose, we'll be fine. And number three, or point three, excuse me, is the break is for accelerating. So after you've done all the healing and crying and kicking and screaming and all your finances, excuse me, are back in order, you forgave who you need to forgive, yourself and others, now it's time to accelerate with all of that. Because again, we cannot go back on that track, like I said in NASCAR, and do the same thing. We cannot kick the same habits. We got to do something different. I promise you it will be worth it. Like I said, when I got back from Cali, my acceleration was I've already done all the sitting, I've done all the planning, I've done all the writing, I've done all the praying, I've done all the speaking to the pastors, I got all the prophetic words. Now it's like, all right, move. Like, how much more word do you need? How many more conferences do you need to go to? How many more prophetic words you need to hear? I had some OGs kind of cursing me out last week. Took a road trip, but I received it. And one of the things that I got out of that is, yeah, it's time to move. And I'm speaking not just to me, but to everybody on here. If there's something in your life that you've been pushing back, don't keep going through and move, because this journey is about not getting comfortable, which is why the book is called Don't Take Your Shoes Off Yet, because there's always work to be done and you cannot get comfortable on this journey. So I asked the people today that's listening, um, do you have an intentional plan for the next chapter of your life? What small steps can you take today to prepare for it? Last week we spoke about the milk has gone bad, expiration dates. It's kind of the same space, right? Like, what were you willing last week to throw out your refrigerator that was expired? Today is, what are you willing to accelerate on that you've been just standing still on it? It's been right there in front of your face and you look at it every day and you're like, I'm not going to do it. Imagine if somebody gave you $1 million every day to go do that thing or move on that. I promise you're going to move. But if it's your dream, it's just a book, if it's a relationship, if it's a trip that you want to take, if this dream trip. Remember back in the day, Microsoft or Apple or which have you, uh, people didn't vacate so much, so they had like their background as like a beach or like a somewhere that looks real uh, vacation like. And I don't want y'all to be in that space. I want y'all not to look at a picture. I actually want you to go to that place that you see. And anything in your life that you want, you can go get it. You can go get it, but you gotta move. So all the crying, look, even if you're crying on a journey, keep moving. If you if it seems tough, keep moving, because again, as I said earlier, it's only preparing you for you to move. So that is my lessons for today, everybody. This was a good one. Next week, which is kind of like a continuation of this. So this is about moving. Next week, though, is about there's a weight in the wait. So you may be moving and you will be moving, but again, God's gonna call a timeout in your life, and there's gonna be a wait in the wait on that one. So, so again, before we get to questions and everything, I just want to say to any veterans on here, thank you for your service and serving us and holding us down. We appreciate you. But yeah, the question is, do you have an intentional plan for the next chapter of your life? We're now moving into 2025 and literally what, a month and some change. We cannot go uh into 2025 doing the same thing. Those habits have to die right now. And you know how I go. Oh yeah, I'm gonna start in a new year. I'm gonna go work out, or I'm gonna go eat diet, or I'm gonna diet this way, or I'm gonna do this. I'm gonna read this book. I'm gonna get this dream started. And you do it, and then, as my sister said earlier, by January 15th, you done already gave up. Talking about, well, I'll start next month. Nah, don't start. Don't stop. Keep going. This to be in the beginning of the year and already having to take a break, that's already a problem. So you now have to ask yourself, why am I having to take a break so early? What didn't you do, or what are you not doing that the journey can continue and you got some strides going on, and not just, oh, I need to take a break every 5 seconds. It got to be I'll just use finances. If your finances, you got to ask the 5 questions: so who, what, when, where, how, right? Why are your finances looking like this? Um, who are you spending these finances on? Where are your finances going? How did your finances get like this? If you were at the top of the year, your bank account was at 50,000, and by the end of December you are down like to 1,000. You got to ask questions now. Like, what did I do? What did I do wrong? What didn't I pay attention to? You know. And so, again, move. The break is only preparation for what's coming. I know we've all been through our pains, we've been through our struggles, we've been through our tough times, but I promise you, those were preparations for what we were going to be getting in our life. So if you were going through a space where you didn't have a voice, I'll just use communication as an example. Um, if you was in a situation, maybe a relationship that you didn't have a voice, or you was amongst family who didn't give you a voice to speak, thank God my parents let me speak. They didn't like it, but they let me speak. But let's say you get older, you may not have great communication skills. But if that's one of your issues, then you need to find ways to move to be a better communicator. You could take a class, you can hop on YouTube, you can take communication 101. There's free courses these days online. If it's finance, I'll use that again. If your finances, you want to get better, find a financial coach, find different budgets you can play around with for free, where you don't have the money to pay for a financial coach. If it's your diet, look on YouTube, find what your blood type is, see the vision of the body that you want, and then say, you know what did they do to get to this body? Go move on it. Move. That's the word of the day. Move. So if there's anybody today, y'all know how I get down. If there's anybody today that heard something that you would love to share, please um, feel free to hop on with me. 2, 3 minutes for the people. Again, it's not about me. It's about the person that's on here that you can be a confirmation for what they need to hear. Um, so anybody's open to hop on and give me something from the 3 points they heard. I will open the floor. And while you're thinking about coming on here, I will ask the question again. Do you have an intentional plan for the next chapter of your life? 2025 is right around the corner. Please do not go into 2025 doing the same thing you were doing in 2024. If it got you nowhere in 2024, guess what? It's not going to get you nowhere in 2025. So, yeah, if there's anybody want to jump on, feel free. Send me a request or raise your hand and I'll send you a invite. Yes, I do. Okay, well, let's tap in then. Sacred says she's going to tap in. I think it went through. Sacred, did you get that? Oh, yeah. What's going on, Sacred? It's all good. I can hear you.
My plan, is to literally set these boundaries and stick to them.
Okay.
Obviously, I also have other goals as far as like continuing my education, getting these certifications, growing my business, staying focused on myself. Because right now, I need to pour more into myself. So that is my goal for 2025.
So boundaries and investing in yourself.
Mm-hmm.
Thank you for that. Thank you for being bold to hopping on today.
Yeah.
Appreciate it.
I know how to get rid of this thing.
You got to press the X in the box. See, it don't just be me. Yeah, you got to hit, like, click the box and then press X. Oh, she got it. Yeah. Yeah, shout out to Sacred. Amen. Stick to your boundaries. I'm working on that intentional plan. Amen. Is anybody else who want to jump on and tell the people what your intentional plan is? I see some folks came in late, waving at you, waving at you. I don't know if they're still in here or not. Anybody? Well, my YouTube. Sacred, they said you got a beautiful smile. Well, if there is nobody else who wants to jump on and oh, I have a question. Okay, ask the question. The people have a question. They're typing the question. Sorry if it seems like I'm frozen. Shout out to Tasha B. We waiting for the question, mother. just want to shout out my parents while she's writing this question out. But it's been 6 weeks since I've been online, and my parents have showed up every single week. I appreciate y'all. Get you some parents that's gonna support you no matter what. I mentioned earlier. Okay, the question is coming. If you're just checking in, I hit on 3 points about the breakup. The first is that point one, a break is for reconciliation. Step two, that God will call a timeout. And step three, or point three, that breaks are for accelerating. When preparing for your book and this subject was highlighted, what was your aha moment? When preparing for this book, what was your aha moment? Um, so I spoke about this a little bit a couple weeks ago on a live, and I said during COVID, or in 2019, 2020, yeah, 2020, um, I've always, let me say this, I've always known a book was in me. I didn't know what it was or what it was going to be about, but I've always believed there was a book in me. And so during COVID, when I told you I went to jail and after I got out of there, I was in this depressive state that, I was trying to do anything. Just like, oh, let me hop on a podcast. Let me do these videos, hop on TikTok. Let me hop on IG and do lives, or let me write this book. So I figured the book would have been the easiest. I just started writing. I'm like, okay, but then I probably did a full page and nothing was coming. Because I'm too distracted, as I said earlier. I was too distracted. I was too depressed. I was too, um, yeah, my heart wasn't even into it. Like I was doing it based off just to get some money in my pocket real quick. You feel me? It wasn't even that it was God led at the time. It wasn't, yeah, I just say that it wasn't God led at the time. It wasn't the right timing. So here I am trying to rush the situation when God was actually kind of prepare me. Um, but my aha moment came maybe when I was in California, and in that break that I was taking, all the past was coming to me. Like, remember this happened, remember that happened. I'm just jotting things down at the time. And then when I moved back to Atlanta, everything had just connected. Like, ah, that's the book right there. And I'm a walking billboard for my title, which is Don't Take Your Shoes Off Yet, a journey from procrastination to purpose. And the fact that I was able to write it while I was still in the process, and we're always still going to be evolving, but I wasn't procrastinating anymore. And I knew I couldn't procrastinate anymore because now this book was needed, not just for me, but for everybody. So the aha moment was Jonathan's not about you, it's about the people. And it became easier. I actually didn't write anymore, I actually recorded, and that became so much easier. I really do that. If you are writing a book, I'm gonna tell you right now, just record it and then send it to your publisher and let them handle it. It'll be a time of your life. Okay, my mom had a question, but she said she couldn't hear me. Well, if anybody doesn't want to get on, is there any questions before we log out? Yeah, if there's any questions, it don't even have to be about a break. It can be, oh, okay, we got a person. The name of the book is Don't Take Your Shoes Off Yet, A Journey from Procrastination to Destiny. I just sent a request, Tania. Come on, Locks.
Hello.
Come on,
They look
Locks.
a mess right now.
I see you, Locks. What up? What up, Bun?
Hey Wade,
What's
what's
going on?
up?
I mean,
I
we here.
I told myself I was not gonna get in this live.
Okay.
Okay, but
What did what
the spirit
what did
pricks.
you hear today?
So first, I just want to commend you for what you're doing. I know you're not on for this, but this is big. I know this is big for you, so I'm very proud of you, and I'm excited to see how this all unfolds and God works this out in your life, and how many people you're going to continue to touch because you've already touched so many lives already. So, congratulations, sir.
To God be the glory.
Huh?
I said to God be the glory. It's him.
Yes.
Mm-hmm.
So, I just want to encourage somebody maybe encourage myself in something that I've learned in the moment of being in this break that I'm in. You know, my break has been massive.
Do you want to touch on it or
But
not?
You
don't have to give the whole, but just give a little bit.
So being in a separation I've been in with my husband, and now, you know, the divorce part of everything. Mm-hmm. So the wait in the break, and I think what was hard for me is believing that I was being faithful to God. It was like, God, I'm being faithful to you, and I don't understand why in the break time I'm disappointed. Like, I had to really, really work through that, because sometimes in the timeout, you feel like you were saying, you feel abandoned, you feel kind of lost, you feel alone and neglected. Mm-hmm. And I was so disappointed in God, because I was like, God, I'm doing everything that you told me to do. And there's no acceleration right now. Like, we on a standstill. Mm-hmm. So one thing that I'm learning is even in that break, the advice that I kept getting was, allow God to carry you and lean into you, and lead into God. Mm-hmm. Allow God to carry you and lean into God. And that's hard when you're on a timeout and when you don't know when the acceleration is going to start. That part. Because it's not all the time. It's not right away. And I think sometimes we are so focused on the problem and what we want next that we're not able to sit in the timeout in the space that God wants us to sit in. Mm-hmm. And we're expecting the acceleration to come immediately, and it doesn't. Mm-hmm. It can come in 2 years. It can come in a few months. You know, it can come. So I just want to encourage someone that even in my break time, that was a big, big humbling experience for me to just trust God and his timing. Yeah. And completely trust and surrender. I think I've always said, okay, God, I'm gonna trust you. But when you get in the midst of all that, you really get tested. So I will say, for anybody that is in a moment of separation. Timeout with God. Okay. And separation. Yeah, separation, you in a timeout, anything you feel like God is putting a hold in your life and you don't understand it, you don't know what's happening, lean into him. Use that time to rest your mind, because when the acceleration comes, it comes like a mighty wind, and you got to be ready to put on the armor, and you got to be ready to fight. So use the time that God's put in a timeout in your life to say, okay, let me rest in him, let me hear, let me learn, let me seek him, seek his face, and then be prepared for what's next. And don't be so quick to rush the acceleration, because it's all in God's timing. It's all a growth thing. I've learned so much. It's a lot, but I've learned so much. So my acceleration is starting. I'm excited.
Come on now.
I just wanted to...
Come on now. Come on now. Love that for you. Let's get it. That was beautiful. So, yes. Thank you for sharing that. Like, someone just said on here, it's a very brave share.
Yeah.
You know, we're in a society now where you're telling things that intimate, right? And the judgment can come upon you. You know, so I thank you for not caring and sharing your story. And much love to you and your acceleration for 2025 is coming.
Thank you. Thank you for all you do. I appreciate you.
Doing my part. You know my motto.
Mm-hmm. Yes, I know.
Yeah.
Okay, I'm gonna get off.
All right.
Let somebody else come on here.
Holla.
Okay, wait. I don't get on here. How do I get off?
So I think you press somewhere in the box, and then there's an X that will pop up.
There ain't no X. There's a microphone. And there's a video recorder.
There should be an X.
Oh boy, just take me off of here.
I can't. I don't think I can. This happens every week.
Why are we like this? I'm just gonna X out. Okay.
You found it? Boom. Told you how to hit the X. Nah, for the two women who jumped on, Sacred and Tania, man, thank you. Is there anybody else? Or is there a question? Anybody up? Okay, got somebody on the YouTube. Someone on YouTube said the best thing about breaks God gives is that He is in it with you. That is beautiful. That is true. You're not in a break by yourself. And He will actually bring people along the way. That's the other part. Like you may feel alone, but there's always somebody that God sends. It's like, you know, as me and a friend call him, God smiles. It could be a longtime friend, it could be a pastor, it could be somebody that you ain't talked to in the church. What we talking about, King? We talking about nah, not breakups, not like relationship breakups. We're talking about so point one uh is when you're taking a break, it should be for reconciliation. So making amends with your past, your hurts, your fears, etc. The second one is that God will give you a timeout. And in that timeout, all He wants to do is just pour into you while you rest in Him. And then the third point was that a break is for acceleration. So after you've done all the healing, the crying, the kicking, the screaming, the forgiving, and all that purpose driven, it's time to actually move forward about it. There is no more sitting still. Like you actually have to accelerate with what God has already given you. Yes, someone on YouTube said He's always gives us what you need. That is true. And the right time. I mean, what's the old song? He's an on time God. Oh, yes, He is. And it's a real thing. It's a real thing that you feel like you are literally by yourself and God is right there with you the entire time. Basically, healing and paying attention, stepping into your purpose. Big facts. Yes, sir. But yeah, like I said, if there's any questions, if anybody want to jump on and say something about what they feel, what they heard tonight, I'm down for it. We got maybe another 5 minutes on here or so. Again, thank you for the veterans who served in this country, protecting us. My back is killing me. I need to go to a chiropractor or a masseuse or somebody. All right, somebody want to join there? King since day one. Oh, there you go.
What's good, Cam?
How's it going with you, my brother? Say it again. You went out.
I said, let me turn my brightness up so I ain't lagging in here. Can you see me? Am I lagging? Am I coming through clearly?
You there? I can hear you.
All right. Yeah, man. I love everything you do on here, man. I definitely try to tap in whenever you are on here. But I don't know, something geared me to tap in. I'm glad I tapped in on this message that you got. Especially on those breaks. They're very imperative, and like you said, like you were saying in the caller before, when those breaks come, usually it's the higher power of God, usually trying to teach you something, trying to tell you something, trying to show you something. And we all need those breaks sometimes. I think just to gain perspective, gain like awareness of the current situation. Because what I've learned is in life, man, you can't be too focused on the past, and you can't be too caught up in the future. Because if you do, you'll miss the gift that is the present. And when I just had a break, man. I just had a break recently. I lost my sister in August.
Wow.
She was taken from me. And I appreciate it, man. It was taken from us. And it shook the whole family, you know what I mean? Because we had to, step up and reach out to her kids and help her kids, But I believe at that time, I believe me and my family, I'm not going to say that it happened for a reason, because I don't think she was taken for a reason, but it definitely, we used it for a reason. We used it for purpose. And we used it for a wake-up call for all of us to, in a way, I guess, gear up and lock in on family and lock in on purpose and lock in on, one thing my sister used to always say was finish the drill. She was a very, very big parent in everybody's life. She was I call her my second mom. I ain't have a dad growing up. I had my mama and I had her. So I said I always had two mamas.
Okay.
And her kids all play sports or was in some type of extracurricular activity. And she was always saying finish the drill, which just meant no matter what was going on in the process of what you're in life, just finish the drill. Don't matter how many hiccups or trips you go through on the way to the goal, is that as long as you get to the goal, as long as you finish the damn drill. And I couldn't believe how many people she touched outside of us until after she was gone. You know what I mean? Like, so many people knew that slogan. So many people knew the person she was, and how even through her life was literally a mirror image of what Finish the Drill is. My sister did not have an easy life and no stretch of the imagination, but what she accomplished in her life was second to none. You know, and I ain't saying I ain't being biased. Like I said, the people that
talk about your sister.
The people that knew her could say the same thing. Like I said, I didn't realize the impact that she had. Because like I said, I will be biased to see my sister, but when I realized the impact she had to other people, not family, man, it was very inspiring, and it geared me up to a point to where I was like, damn, you know, I've been doing good, but I ain't been doing good enough. Like, damn, I was focused, but I ain't focused enough. Yeah. You know what I'm saying? I'm not pouring into myself and focusing on God and focusing on family and things the way I should and the way I need to. And with people, sometimes we get content, and that's not a bad thing or complacent, because we all do it. You know, when you get to a place of comfortability, you know what I mean? You sit there, you be like, okay, yeah, I'm good. But it's like, nah, you never. When the drill ain't finished, then you ain't done. And I just wanted to share that little message just from our sister, man. And hopefully it touches some people in the right way. That, you know, life is never as bad as you think it is, and life is never as good as you think it is. You know what I'm saying? You can always be better, and then it can always be worse. And you have to always remember, man, just to stay humble, but at the same time, stay hungry. You know what I'm saying? Stay focused, man, and stay trying to always pour into the people that's closest to you. People that pour into you, pour into them, and pour into yourself first. Because you can't pour into nobody else's cup if your cup is empty. Right. So I just wanted to share that love and share that peace. I
appreciate you jumping on, man. Again, sorry for your loss. You got people in here saying the same thing, saying your sister was alike, so people knew.
Yeah, I appreciate it, man. I appreciate it, man. Peace, love, life.
Yeah, I appreciate you, brother. Man, I'm loving it today, man. People jumping in. Malik, I saw you too, bro. I didn't want to interrupt the king while he was speaking. Again, we got some time. Anybody else want to jump on? Talk about what you heard from tonight. Anything you want to share to the people, man? It's about breaks. We need it, as Young King just said. We often get complacent, but the objective is to, while you're in that break, to reconcile with all the things that you need to handle your affairs. Like I said, if it's your finances, get them in order. If it's forgiveness, get it in order. If it's your house, get it in order. Whatever you got to do, get it in order, and then accelerate with it. You feel me? But again, if there's any other questions, I think we're 8:54. They got like 8 minutes kicking in. Refocus, yes, sir. So if there's any questions, anybody else want to jump in? What up, Stewie? I see you here. Can I get on? You got some other, like I would turn you down. Send a request to my mom real quick. The fact that my mother said, can I get on? Yes, you can.
No, hello, everyone. Hello, sir.
What's your name, Maybach?
We're back. We're in the garage. Sitting in the garage. Sitting in the garage. I heard you say earlier about one of the point. I think it was the first point. You was. Can you see me?
Yes, I see your beautiful face.
You was. What you say?
I see your beautiful face, mother. Yeah.
Oh, that's so sweet. Such a sweet son.
That's right.
Okay. So you mentioned earlier about because our mind sometimes is all over the place sometimes. And I was thinking about sometimes we are so busy doing and thinking and not being attentive to a lot of things, and we miss God's voice. And sometimes, a lot of times, God be speaking to us, but we are so busy celebrating, doing other things in our life that we miss God's voice. Yeah. At one point in time, do you think that ever happened to you because you was doing whatever and you missed God's voice? Or anybody on the line can answer that question as well.
Yeah, plenty of times. I mean, I can speak for everybody, but I'm gonna speak for me in my life. But a moment like that would be Man, there's so many I can say, to be honest with you. I'll just use California again because that was the most recent, right? So I went to California back in August, right?
I know.
I'm talking to the people.
Oh,
That's what I know. Of course, you know. So I went to California in August. What people don't know is I heard God tell me I should have been in California back in February last year, but because I was so drawn to church, I was drawn to the relationship I was in the time, I was drawn to all the other things that I just disregarded God's voice. And he was loud and clear with it. Like, hey, go. And I said, nope. So then March, April comes around, nope. June comes around. My birthday, I'm like, nah, I don't wanna go to California because I wanna party with my family, I wanna do this with my friends. July shows up. Now I'm not gonna go to California. My mom's birthday is this month. Um, August rolls around. Oh, this is my father's birthday. And it's our family vacation. So no, I don't want to just roll out. So actually it wasn't August, it was September. And so when September hit, actually it was October. It was October. So when October hit, the way God set it up was he knew. So God be knowing our hearts. I know people say God knows your heart, but he does things a certain way because he does know your heart. He knows how crusty we can be and that we're not listening. So he has to do it a strategic way. So his way was, all right, let me just get him to California. Once I get him to California, I know he's going to hear my voice. And once he hears my voice, he's going to do what I asked him to do. And so that happened. So for all those months, I disregarded his voice. Crusty and dusty facts. And so it was just like, yeah, God, I don't want to do that. I don't want to move. I don't want to. I was so dedicated to playing church. Not playing church, but playing the drums at church on Sunday and not missing a Sunday. I was so dedicated to trying to fix this relationship, whatever. But everything just started to spiral. And it's like, okay, now it's time. So when things start to spiral, that's when you really should start listening to God for sure. Because you may have an obstacle here and there, but when you're fully into God, there won't be too many spirals. It'll just be like an obstacle, little bump on the road. But spiraling, oh yeah, he's trying to get your attention. So yeah. Did I answer your question?
yeah. I just recall my time back in the day when God was trying to get my attention. It's in my book. Cheap plugs in my book.
Okay,
Living Two
plug.
Worlds.
Okay,
Living
shameless
Two Worlds.
plug in my
Destined for
book.
change. And one of the things that happened to me, that God was trying to get my attention because I was running from my call. I was running, didn't want to hear what he was saying, asking God why he won't save my life. But he gave me 3 accidents. And my third accident, I finally said to God, okay, I surrender, here I am.
It
So
took
a
3
lot of times
accidents.
we still run from God because we don't want to be held accountable for the things that he wants us to do, and believing and knowing that he wants us to do something, but we still wind up running. So I just encourage everybody on the line, if God is speaking to you and you're running, you're not listening, take time to listen because he purposed your life for a reason. So, amen. I'm out.
That was so
He
beautiful.
had a question.
Oh,
He have a question too. He probably have a question.
what's the question, Pop?
He said earlier you said you only got in trouble once.
That's not a question. That is not a question. What is the question?
Okay.
Pop, do you have a
All right.
question or no?
No, that was it. Thank you all for listening. All right. Bless you. Get me out. All right.
Remember, press the X in the box. There you go. She got on the first try too. Happy for her. That's my mom, everybody. But yeah, again, this last call, we at 9 o'clock now. It's actually the first time we probably got to a whole hour from 9 o'clock. Well, technically I started at 8:01. But is any questions? If not, we will bow out tonight. I really do appreciate everybody who got on here. Oh, I heard today. Hold on. How can we hear God when we already decided what is being said? Come on now. Okay, I got a question. Would you like to actually come on real quick and talk about that? As far as what you heard, ATL sweetheart. Like that's a very deep statement. So I just want to see what you got from that. If you want to. If not, don't worry about it. Right? See, they asked you to come on now, sweetheart. ATL, sweetheart, jump on. I sent a request. Let's see if she answers. Because that's fire. What? She said, how can we hear God when we already decided what is being said? Come on now. It's
Hello.
Lock City out here today. I like it.
You know?
Go crazy.
Hey. That slapped me in the mouth when I heard it, though, just to get straight to the topic because I have to go.
Yes.
Slapped me in the mouth because a lot of times we think that, you know, on our path, on our journey, trying to reconnect with God, this, that, or the third, we're like, okay, I'm doing all the things. I'm trying to listen. I'm in prayer. I'm in my isolation. I'm in my solitude. And then, but are you really? You know, because a lot of the times we want certain things, so we may go into prayer or we may go into reflection, and we've already kind of made up in our minds the outcome that we want or what we are hoping for, but that might not be what God has for us right now. And that will humble you.
Respectfully.
Yes, respectfully. And it was good because, you know, I've been doing great on this, but that was something that I needed to hear just to kind of get me back in my tracks. Like, you don't know at all. You doing all right, but hold on now. Yeah. Sit down.
Okay.
Sit down.
So you ready to accelerate in 2025?
Oh, absolutely. This year has been nothing but preparation. You know, last year was the strip down for me. This year has been nothing but making sure that I have affirmed and learned all the lessons that I have learned and how I'm going to apply those. So we've been doing that, but I think this is still just like a propel. So pushing us for the next year. So she'll be good.
The people love you for it.
You know?
They send you all type of hearts.
I love it.
Thank you for coming on.
Thank you. You know I'm shy. I gotta go.
All right, holla. Yeah, that was beautiful. Wow. Yeah. Hey, make sure y'all copy that. If you really need that, that was a big slap. Like a crack on the back. Like, oh, psh. But anywho, I'm gonna say it again. To my veterans, thank you for your service. The second thing I'm going to say is for those who've been on here since week 1, we're week 6 now. We have 3 more to go. But after that, I'm going to do something special. I believe I'm going to, I'll tell you, whatever. I'm going to get guests to come on, and I'm going to have them pick a chapter from my book, and we'll utilize that as the time on live so we can kind of see a different perspective from another person. And we're going to do that. So to the people that's been on here since day one, I appreciate you. For those who just locked in last week, I appreciate you. If you are new here today, I appreciate you. If you see me from day one, I was nervous. All get out. It's becoming more comfortable. This is a new space for me. As I said in one of the chapters, you are becoming someone that you never been. Oh, hold on. I got another request. So y'all coming on late. We outside. Whatever. Who this? Oh, it's Stewie.
Your boy.
The Brody, the Libra.
Hey, man, just had to put the little one to bed, man. I said, let me get locked in.
Come on real quick. I appreciate it. What you here today?
Oh, man. So, man, God spoke to me today, boy. He spoke to me. So, for a minute, you know, I've been struggling with really.
Hey, sidebar. You see Pops down there?
You see where? Where he at?
$1 Million Mike. You see him down there?
Oh, yes. Hey, we claiming it, Pop.
They still call you $1 Million Mike.
Hey, listen. I'm claiming it. I'm claiming it. So, yeah, God spoke to me today, man, because there's so many times I've been struggling with. I'm always that person that's pouring into a lot of people, right? Mm-hmm. And then, you know, sometimes I'm like, oh, well, do I need to take a step back so I can pour into myself? You know, a lot of people say, you have to take time to pour into yourself. You know, the gentleman before, so you got to take time to pour into yourself so you can pour into others, which is definitely valid. But today I saw a post by Pastor Michael Jr., I believe, and he was saying that, an apple tree or a plum tree, is not fed by the fruit that it produces. It's fed by water.
Mm.
And the purpose of it is not to feed yourself, it's to feed people passing by.
Okay.
So for me, the blessings and the gifts that you have is not for you, it's for the people passing by.
Mm.
Man, that thing slapped me in the face. Boy.
Everybody getting slapped today. Everybody getting slapped today.
Listen, slap me in the face, and I say, you know what, God, I got you. I'm gonna continue to do what I need to do, and continue to produce that fruit for others, because I know that blessing is gonna come. It's gonna continue to come. So
I got a question. So now that you know that, how do you go forth in 2025 stewarding those gifts and helping others or pouring into others?
So for me, that self-doubt of taking that break and, focusing on myself, that was deaded right then and there, just from a post that I saw somebody else repost.
Mm.
Because at the end of the day, God doesn't make a mistake. I could talk myself out of it all day, but until he continues to put things in front of me and, place things strategically in front of me to where I will understand it, then that's how I know. So me is continuing to do me, continuing to pour into whoever, however, whenever, and just know that continuing my word and continuing my relationship with the ones that are close to me and the anointed ones, the anointed brothers that are with me, as always, gang.
And
like we will always, that will be God pouring back into me. You feel me?
Yeah.
And staying locked in to, it's not a coincidence that I just put my daughter down, I came back, and then we're tapped into this. And I'm sitting back like, okay, I always catch the end, so I'm tapped in. But there's a reason why you're still on. There's a reason why you're still, everyone's coming in saying what they need to say.
Mm.
And then God put on my spirit, like, don't be silent this time. Like, say something. Speak on it. So I appreciate you for having this platform. I appreciate you for doing everything that you do.
Man.
You need to go ahead and put that pre-order link on there so we can go ahead and get it.
Oh, it's coming.
You know what I'm saying?
It's coming a couple weeks. Don't you worry.
I got you.
Thank you to the messenger.
Listen. I'm telling you.
I know what the middle name means. The messenger.
Facts. My dad's been telling me that since birth. Ezekiel being the messenger. So he said. So I'm just doing my part. I'm just doing my part, man. It's God's plan.
Man, I'm excited for you. So the story. So matter of fact, if y'all heard me in my story about me going to jail, I was coming from his wedding. Yeah, it's not his fault. It's not his fault though. Yeah, let me put it out there. It's not his fault.
Judge not.
Yeah, judge not. It's not his fault. But yeah, man, we've been rocking since 15, 16 years old, I think.
Yep.
Yeah,
Yep.
So it's always a pleasure and a bonus to see you supporting me just as I support you and anything you got going on. So it's much love, bro. I appreciate you.
For sure. And shout out to Mom and Pops. Love y'all.
Yeah, they might be inside now, but I let them know.
Yeah, for sure.
I see when I get back to the A.
You better, because
Yes,
I definitely came by your house and you were not there.
Like 4 people in here last week was like, "Hey, you at the crib?" Like, nah, I'm not.
Yeah.
But yes, sir.
Well, I appreciate you, brother.
All right.
All right.
Someone said on YouTube that's really good, and here's the thing: the Father, the gardener, takes care of the entire vine as long as we stay connected. John chapter 15. We produce, he feeds. I have poured and poured, and I'm drained and tired. I am on this journey to take care of me so I can pour into who I need to. That's beautiful. Well, I keep saying, every time I keep saying, all right, it's the last, somebody jumps in. So I'm going to literally give it, whoever wants to jump on, whoever has a question. I really do appreciate this. This is probably the most engagement that I've had. Last week was, and now this week. So maybe next week we'll get more people on. If y'all like what you heard today, please share it. comment. This will go literally on my reel on IG, and it's already live on YouTube, so you can share once you get it as well. So yeah, God has a calling on our lives that we can ever see or can't see, but we have to have faith in Him and His Word. Amen, bro. Yeah. Well, I hope y'all had a beautiful day. It is Monday. I hope you guys enjoy the rest of this week. Please, again, if there's something that you've been holding on to, release that. If there's something that you need to do, accelerate that. Oh, that was dope, and it rhymed. If there's something you need to release, let it go. And if there's something that you need to do, accelerate it. But I love you all, man. I'll probably share the tear after I get off this because this is beautiful. Um, but just doing my part in all this, man, and it's a blessing. I'm grateful to be a vessel, if you will, and it's only gonna get better. So I thank everybody for your support. I thank everybody for their love. Thank everybody who got on today. Again, to the veterans, we appreciate you. And next week, 8 p.m. Eastern, and that chapter is 7. We got 3 more chapters to go. Chapter 7, chapter 8, and chapter 9. Chapter 7 next week is There's a Wait in the Wait. Chapter 8 is the Champagne Victory Lap. That's one of my faves. And then, of course, the last chapter, which is 9, is Don't Take Your Shoes Off Yet. So I hope y'all lock in. Like I said, I'm going to have special guests come on at the end. Towards the end of December, to show different. What up, Honey Mustard? And I'm going to have them just give a different perspective. Um, they could be dancers, they could be entrepreneurs, real estate agents. We don't know, but they have something to offer to the people as well. So, deuces again. Like, share, comment. I will have this on YouTube. The moment this goes off, this will be on IG. Tap in, share with people. So you feel like somebody need to hear something on this thing, this live. Share it to them, and we outside. Peace.